I'm reading a book right now. What's it called? Keep forgetting the title.
It's called Close to Shore.
That's the one.
Dark text of
1916. Saw a documentary on it, so I thought I'd get the book. Nobody knew what a shark looked like. They have pictures of sharks that were drawn of this kind of dolphin-looking thing with a mouth on the side and human length. No one had any idea. No one was afraid of it. They had no clue. I remember being a fan of Stephen King's short stories and Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and some other series he had. He had a detective series as well that I was very much into. I was that kind of quirky English sense of humor. I was really into Monty Python at the time as well. Still into Monty Python, but it suited my sensibilities at the time, and I remember being really into those. I do pick up actual books. I will still buy actual books for convenience. I do have the Kindle app on my iPad and my iPhone. So wherever I am, I always have my phone with me. I can always pick up where I left off in my book. That's extremely convenient. I do like books. I do like the smell of paper and having it in my hand. But there are times when you just, when you want to lay on your back, and depending on how thick that book is, when you're holding it up there, boy, that'll get tiring after a while. So you need an iPhone, you need a Kindle, you need something a little lighter you can relax with. I've always had respect for writers. It's there's a magic about reading that's not been lost on me. Working now in the entertainment industry, it's rare that I can watch a film or a television program and not see the work that goes into it and not have the magic of it take me away. It's a little difficult in my profession now. But books have always maintained that for me. They've always maintained that magic of it's able to transport me. So I've always had respect for books. I remember watching Star Wars. My dad took me, sitting right beside me in the movie theater. I can't remember at what point in the film, but it wasn't anywhere near the end. It was like somewhere in the middle. I leaned over to my dad and I said, "I want to see this again tomorrow." And he leaned over and said, "Okay." So he was into it too, and I remember that kind of a bonding moment. There's a certain level of, I think, commitment that fans have. I think Castle fans have a very high level of commitment. I think sci-fi, Firefly fans have an even higher level of commitment. They get crazed about these things. They dress up like the characters you play. If anything unites all my fans together, I would have to say it's their excellent taste. I had a lot of comic books. There was the Wee Book Inn on White Avenue in Edmonton, Alberta. It was a secondhand bookstore, and we would take a pile of comics in. They would leaf through them for their value and their worth, saying, "Oh, this one's in crappy shape, so it's not worth. But they would say, "Okay, for this many comic books, you can have." Like if we brought them 60 comic books, we would get like 35 back. We would just trade them in, so we get 35 secondhand comic books, and my dad would make up the difference. He'd buy the rest, and we'd have another stack of 60 comic books. And then I started getting into the actual Marvels, the DCs. The Spider-Man was my big one. The X-Men I was really into. That was a good time. How does that change the chemistry? That's an excellent question. I can only at this point surmise and guess what would happen. Does it? I would imagine there's going to be a honeymoon phase. I would imagine there's going to be a very kind of more of an investment between the two people that they haven't been able to step up to before. Now they can invest like they haven't before. And then there's probably going to be that honeymoon's over phase where it's like, "Honey, can you pass me the remote?" And then they'll be fighting about you watch too much TV and maybe you should spend more time at home and you're always cleaning your gun. And I think, just typical relationship stuff. I love Indiana Jones, have since I was a kid. Han Solo, since I was a kid. Anything Simon Pegg does, incredible. That's all I can think of offhand. And I'm so geeking out about Game of Thrones right now. I'm geeking out. Game of Thrones is driving me crazy. I will get up off my couch and scream at the TV, no, spoiler alert, no Ned Stark, no. Right. I said spoiler alert.